So I went through a drive-thru the other day and I couldn't roll the window down. So I was trying to buy lunch the other day, went through the drive-thru, and I couldn't roll the window down. No matter how many times I hit the door, it wouldn't work. So we're gonna replace the window regulator and motor. This has been kind of clicking, going up and down for a while now, and I think it just finally died. But I want to show you guys how easy it is to swap this out. It wasn't that much. I'll have a link to the ones that I picked up down below, and you guys can follow along with this little instructional how-to. We're also going to do one extra modification that needs to be done while this door is out, and we'll show you guys that in a minute, but you'll have to stick around for that one. This is an absolute terrible idea from GM to put screws down inside this handle here. Jeez, now I got the Rona. Because it should not have been right here. It would have been nice if they were clips or they were screwed someplace else or something like that, but this is just where we're at. So take your Phillips head, pop these two screws out here. Literally just leave them down inside there, no big deal. Okay, more often than not, this little front clip that slides under here is going to be busted. So, but if it isn't, what you're going to do is you're lifting it up the back and you're going to pull it rearward as you lift up. So, like I said, this guy is snapped off. No idea where he is. Dropping screws. Just set them down the floorboard. Hopefully don't lose them. So these three clips here, your mirror, your power windows and power locks, you can't get them mixed up. If you guys want me to, I can make a video about changing the color of these lights. Comment below if you guys want me to do that. There's three lights here and usually one or two on the other doors to change the light inside here. It's kind of a fun way to stylize the truck and make it a little bit different, and it's pretty easy if you've got some basic knowledge of circuitry and ability to solder. And there's one more screw up inside here to remove. Just be careful to not drop it down inside the hole here. But you're going to pull the handle out and just ever so gently pop this guy out. Just got two little clips, they tend to break, so just be careful with that. And lastly, we're going to pop this cover off. This is your access for your mirror if you want to replace your side mirrors, and then this is your powered connection here. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you guys how to pop this thing out. Alright, so back here in the corner, we're just going to pull real gentle. There's a couple clips throughout, so just pull away from the door, and we're going to pull just far enough out that it clears the handle here, and we're going to lift the whole thing up. So see how it clears that, lift it up. We'll have a tweeter here that we need to deal with, a little clip. And there you go. So when you get the panel off, you'll normally see a bunch of plastic that's been glued on here. This has been removed since, it's not here right now, but just know that when you pull that door panel off, this will be all plastic covered. So you'll have to get a little creative on where to either cut it or be able to pull it. I would say it's best to just cut where you need, and then like tuck tape or metal foil tape or something like that, that is going to keep that back sealed for air, so you mitigate the dust into the truck and whatnot. So we've got a handful of screws throughout this thing here to keep the motor in place, to keep the tracks in place, but we're going to try and get this thing lowered by plugging in the switch panel back and attempting to push the window down in order to bring it into the space where we can actually get to the 2 bolts that are actually in the window right here. So you guys can see this thing is super loose. You can see the glass flopping around in there. So part of that is the just the wheels inside of here are worn out, or the little axles that are in there are worn out. So, jeez, careful. So we're gonna lower it so that we can get to it down here. We'll have this bolt here, and then you can access the other one through this hole here. All right, so I can see one of the nuts right here, or one of the 10mm bolts right there, and then the other one here. So we're gonna take those out first and then raise the glass back up so it's out of the way. Like I said, this is a 10mm. Shove it in there. I can already tell this thing is super bent. Now that the 2 bolts are out, what we're going to do is we're going to lift the glass back up into the weather seal. So at this point you can take the glass out if you want to. It's pretty easy at this point. You just roll it forward and lift it all the way out. If you wanted to, this would be a great time to tint your window or clean it, I don't know. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to lift it up. And what I'm going to do is take the old mirror cover here and just shove it in there, and it'll hold the glass up for the moment. So without sticking your hand too far up inside here, we're going to push up on this so that this motor assembly gets as small as it possibly can. So just push on it, and you want it to kind of be in line with everything. That way it's the smallest size, and it'll slide right out the door here. This one up here is going to be a nut that doesn't necessarily have to be removed. It actually locates there's a little keyhole slot for it to fit down inside there. So we don't have to take that one all the way out, but everything else is either a stud or a bolt that goes all the way through. Same with this one here. You can see how it's a nut, and then it's got a little keyhole right here. You really don't need to remove those all the way. But so far, 10mm. We got one little clip to take off here, and we can pull this regulator out. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. There's a little red tab here, and that actually clips right into the motor. So we're just gonna pull it out of here, and now we can slide the motor and regulator forward a little bit. Try not to smash your hands folding this thing up and pulling it out. There you go. It's kind of bent. It was hitting right here quite a bit. That was probably that loud pop you guys just heard. But it looks to me like maybe the motor was replaced. And this is the factory regulator. So this guy's a little straighter, you guys can see that. But what we're going to do here is we need to take and loosen up these 2 bolts here. Actually, this guy's like that, it looks like. This is one of the reasons why I said you're going to have to probably cut the plastic or something like that, because this gives it so much more room to get in here. Plus, I'm going to stick my arm down inside here and be able to fish this up inside here properly. And you really wouldn't be able to do that with the plastic. But we'll fish this in here. We got to get this top bolt in, and then we'll locate here. And then we got to locate this guy. And then we're going to locate that guy. 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 bolts here. And slowly work our way around. Get these set up here. All located and ready to go. You guys use a little impact gun or some sort of power screwdriver, but these are super low torque, and it's not that big of a deal to do this by hand. The last 2 bolts are for the glass to regulator connection. Ooh, that sounds good. Alright, so the window's still up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower it down. I'll take my wedge out of there and gently lower the glass, trying not to get it out of the track that it's in, because that would be terrible. There you go. No more clanking, no more binding, no more problems. There you go. Pretty easy. The passenger side is the exact same way. You've got your 6 bolts here, and the whole motor will come out. Slide it back in. You want to get it down here to the hole so you can reach the bolt that holds the glass together. Use the switch panel if you can. No other window will work with this unplugged, so make sure you get this at least plugged in if you're going to do the other side. But I told you guys we're going to do another modification today, and that is the driver handle here has broken a tab off and is kind of loose, and it looks like somebody at some point has tried to silicone the door handle back on, or at least to seal it from weather. So super cheap part. I don't remember how much it was, probably 15-20 bucks on Amazon, and we're going to swap that out next. So we got my 10 mil here again. We're going to take our extension off, and there's just a couple bolts in here. Actually, I gotta switch it back. One bolt off. The other one right here. Loose already, that's not good. And we just pull it up from the other side. So this has been busted for a good long time, it looks like. This was long overdue. So I'm trying to take these off from the outside because there's a regulator in the way, but I don't know if I can get to it or both of them from the outside. So just do your best here. I was able to get the top one out pretty easy. There you go. Alright, so we're going to take the lock assembly out of here. Kind of loose already too. Jeez. That's a good thing I pulled this out. So I'm going to take the lock assembly out of here. You guys can see that. And that's now garbage. Alright, so I got these little plastic razor blades. They're great for scraping things like silicone off of paint that you don't want to mar the surface. So a regular razor blade will do that. But these are, I mean, sharp, but not like crazy sharp that they're going to scratch the paint or anything like that. So we'll just slowly eat away at this, even maybe on the edge here, and then I'll take my I think it's my crud cutter, my silicone removal goo, and dissolve what's still on here. So let me scrape off what I can, and I'll use the goo here in a second and show you guys how that stuff works.
2 hours later.
I guess we'll get this thing remounted and show you guys how that works. We're going to reach in here and put our 2 bars back on. I got the best way to do this. Do this in such a way that you guys can see too. Got this flipped up. There we go. So There's some clips on here to get it to snap in place. You guys can hear that now. And that helps it seal. That's what broke on the last one. I'm trying to, there it goes. A little stubborn down there. Get bolt in here. Just snug, nice and clicked in. That's nice. Let's get started with the key. All we did is swap the tumbler over. This should work just fine. So I think it'll take a sec to work in, but whoops. So first things first, we're going to put the tweeter back in, and then we're going to reach in here and pull all of our wires up and out the hole. We're going to pull the door card away from the door and kind of wiggle the weather strip in place, just like that, and then it should theoretically sit down right over there. Done, just like that. Mirror cover back in. We got our this guy, my screwdriver. We'll put our 3 screws back. This guy goes in here. Nice and tight. Grab our switch panel, put our switches back, our wires back here. Sounds like somebody local thinks they're on Isle of Man. Oh, it smells like it's running rich. I'll run out in the middle of the street if he comes back. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
All right. Lock. Oh, the key's in, but key forward. Locks. Perfect. Alright, there you go. We got the new window regulator popped in. We actually did the door lock assembly, the door handle assembly. Swap that back out. Everything's back together. Now, next time I go through a drive-through, I don't have to hit my window to hit my door to get it to roll down. So, thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.